Let's welcome Irina.
Hey, how's it
Hi.
going?
Hello,
Hi,
hello.
everyone.
How are you
Oh,
doing?
I am good. I just watched a little bit of the debate before I came on and post debate conversations. And I have to tell you that haunted places from around the world are much more fun.
Wait, are they actually in the same room right now, or are
I
they
think
doing?
so. I think. Are they?
I
I didn't.
know. I
Last
was
time I saw
afraid to
was when Trump
watch.
didn't want to do a virtual one. So are they in the same room?
I didn't see, there were like two separate cameras. I imagine they are. I don't know.
Oh,
I didn't see them in the same room, but I saw two heads, one next to another. Let
They at
me.
least had the sneeze guard down the middle. So
do they?
I don't know, like a
This is
salad
what
bar.
this looked like.
Oh,
Oh
maybe
my
they are
goodness! Like
they?
that's typical, though,
Actually,
right?
no, they're not. They're probably not that close. Seeing how
Well,
they have
I
the
Well,
would
audience.
I doubt it. They'd be holding
Well,
hands.
I know, huh? I like you too.
I would have been like, put me on the other side of the room, like not 6 feet, more like 30 feet. Like I would
Well, I
not be
mean,
anywhere
yeah.
near this man.
Yeah, I don't care if he just got over COVID, whatever. I don't want to be near the dude because
I mean, COVID
he
may be
could
the
get it. He
least
could get it
dangerous.
again.
oh, not even just
Um,
that. Like he would. He seems like he'd give me like freaking flu or something. Just anything. He doesn't care. It's flu
herpes,
season.
herpes.
Herpes. I think I would need to be really, really close in order to get herpes from somebody like that. No.
Yeah, well, if Trump has herpes, I guess the thing that's helping him out is all those burgers at night. They keep him nice and healthy. So
Nice and healthy.
Yeah, that's by the way,
Hey,
that's a cure for herpes. Is you just eat McDonald's every single night. If in case anyone wanted to know.
Ah.
Yeah.
now we know. Hello, everyone who suffers from herpes. Donald Trump has a cure for you, and it's not bleach. But
No.
side effects might include sitting on the toilet at 4 in the morning and tweeting vigorously.
Yeah, that's
Why
I
are
right.
you so
mean,
angry? The McRib makes me angry at night.
I don't know. I mean, if really hope. Did people actually drink bleach? I'm just curious. Like people have contemplated actually, like if
They
his
won't come
voters
back to
really.
tell us. They won't come back to tell
I
us.
know. That's what I'm like. Well, I don't think they would have survived in order to do that. But I just this entire whole
Well,
thing has been a
if they do
mess.
survive, and that's a big if, they will have the shortest intestines you ever seen if they
Oh
can
yeah.
save them. You know. Yep. 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 Yep.
But now we get to go back to Irene.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. I like have a very important question just because I feel like I have to ask this. Are they still doing Playboy parties at the Playboy Mansion?
So they are not doing Playboy parties at the Playboy Mansion, also because Playboy Mansion got sold after Mr. Hafner passed away. Actually, it got sold before he passed away, but he got to spend his remaining days in there. So there's no more parties in the mansion. However, the company still exists, and occasionally they are Playboy licensed events and Playboy events. But I haven't really been working for them ever since I turned 40. So I won't.
Oh, like
Well,
okay. Downside of
I
living
I
in LA.
turned I turned 40 this year.
well,
Yay!
did you
Oh,
actually for some time there, do what is portrayed on TV, be one of the girls that's just hanging around in the background, or was that only for TV shows and movies and stuff?
Oh, I did that, but we actually had functions. So the girls that are hanging out in the background, they actually don't get paid. They just are invited and they want to be other girls that are in magazines. I'm not saying like playmates, but hypothetically, yes. Actually, I usually work the parties where I would either be giving tours around the Playboy Mansion where you actually have to know extensive history and you can't drink and you have to wear, high heels
in the
on
bunny ears.
Wait, you can't drink? Oh gosh,
no,
man.
you can't drink at work. Or I would be a Playboy bunny where I would be posing in my bunny costume and, for photo ops for guests. So, and to address your question, the weird part is that I feel like I haven't seen any craziness because I would come to the party, I would do my job, or go home, or come as a guest, hang out, go home. And then I hear all the crazy stories, like what went on and where, and all the celebrities that were there. And I'm like, I don't know, haven't seen anyone, didn't see anything. So I feel like a dork. I would totally miss all the fun stuff.
You're like, oh, I'm working while they're having fun. No.
There were some like good times at the Playboy Mansion.
I am going to step right out for a brief moment. I am so sorry. I will come back with a surprise. Stefan is going to take it from here.
No worries.
She'll be right back.
She barely made it through here.
So the next thing she was going to ask is what got you into doing stand-up comedy?
So I've been modeling ever since, I appeared in Playboy. I moved to the United States and I modeled for a very long time. And somewhere down the line, I started acting where people would be like, oh, we need a Russian girl, or you can be a funny foreign girl who doesn't speak a word of English. So I started booking those roles and I started sort of like, being around the comedy world and seeing those amazing like improvisers and stand-up comedians, at work doing their best. And I always, I feel like I always had a lot to say as a person, but nobody really gave a shit about what I had to say. It was more like, oh, you stand over there and you look pretty. Like,
oh, that sucks.
Oh, what part am I playing? Oh, you're gonna stand over there, and say hello. Not only that, like I would have, very small roles, one-liners, or speaking Russian, or with a very thick Russian accent. So when I like open my mouth, people don't even like expect me to be able to speak. And I'm like, but this is not who I am. I want my fans to know who I am. And I felt like stand-up comedy was like a real opportunity to connect with my fans, as well as, tell the world who I really am and tell some stories and my opinions. I'm a very opinionated person. And I like, making opinionated jokes about Trump.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So you did not help him come in. Okay, good. That's a good thing. By the way, with what you said, where you don't so much like being typecasted. So are you telling me that the female reboot of Rocky IV is out?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh my god! Hey man, hey.
I hope not. Sounds like a disaster.
I'm just wondering who they get to play as Rocky at that one. I don't know.
No.
We're gonna bring Dana in the conversation.
Drago, was it Rocky?
Yeah, Drago, right? Hey, somebody in the comments that really likes Rocky, tell Ivan. See, Stefan was definitely going to know.
No, I love those movies, bro. And then the '80s action stars, man. Come on. That's what I grew up on, dude. You gotta know that stuff.
I guess I didn't understand it so much as a kid, the first one, because I'm like, Mom, what? But he lost.
Hey man,
like he lost the well, like this is the movie he lost. Like,
yeah, that's one of those things where that not only is that movie inspiring because of what he had to go through just to get it made, because his life story itself, like some artists, is basically like if you can't make it happen for yourself and you're only waiting for other people to make it happen for you, it may not happen.
Right. Exactly. Right? So I'm stand up to get discovered.
That's right.
Hoping that one day somebody will see my clip or my TikTok and be like, yeah, Rambo 4 is in the making. We have the female Drago.
Hey man, you never know. Let's see here.
By the way, hi.
Hi, Brittany, how are you? And my apologies. The other thing ran way over. I had no idea. So thank you for being here with us. So happy to meet you. And I heard you did the Dow Comedy Dowathon. Were you on? Yes. Oh, like we did. There was no way to know everybody. Like I was. Yeah. I think I did the 10 o'clock Sunday night. Like that was an amazing experience.
Oh, I
Yeah,
saw her
so
perform.
fun.
She did really good.
Ah.
That was funny.
I watched 7 hours of it that day, and then by the end of the night, I was like,
Right.
oh.
I watched a little bit of a show before and after, but it's hard. It's hard to
Right.
watch. Like anything that goes over an hour or two, it's just too.
Right. Right.
It's tough. Oh no,
I
I
agree with
agree.
you. Like sitting on Zoom, I just kind of yeah,
I,
I know
I
the
feel like
feeling.
my brain cells are dying. As the time
Right.
goes on, because it's so hard. Like I have to check out the beard. I have to check out myself.
Right.
Well, what doesn't work for everybody, what works for me if you want to end a Zoom meeting is I just start taking off my shirt. And like that ends the Zoom meeting really quickly. So
Like, oh, leave, click, 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 click.
I
Yeah.
tend to say the same thing for myself. Nobody usually wants to log off at that point.
Oh man. Next thing, are you still doing acting or modeling other
So
than
yes,
stand-up comedy?
I'm
Oh, sweet.
acting. I never stop. I also write. I'm
Ah.
modeling. It's kind of like, again, once I turned 40, model, everybody's like, oh, you should like totally like post all the bikini pictures. But I'm like, guys, I have dignity. Like, I don't want children, I'm 42, children half of my age comment horny comments on my Instagram post.
Ah,
You
I
know?
feel, I
It's
feel, I feel you.
uncomfortable. I feel
Yeah.
like a MILF. Like it's just modeling is great, but I had a 20-something year career. You know what I mean? Like I don't need validation around my tits anymore. Like I'm good.
That's funny.
Nice.
yeah, it'd be really weird for someone in your living room. Hey, your mom's hot, bro.
Yeah, I've been with friends where that's happened. That's just
That's just
uncomfortable.
guys, actually.
Well, no, I know, but it's a little uncomfortable, It's like your mom's
Do
right there,
you
bro.
do you remember your first modeling gig? Like do you remember?
I do actually.
Wow.
You can call it a modeling gig. I think I really wanted to model back in Russia when I was
Okay.
18 years old.
Mhm.
And I entered the very first competition beauty contest in my hometown. It was Miss Nizhny Novgorod, I think 1995.
Okay.
The first ever model, like Miss of the city ever.
Wow. Okay, 1995. Take me back. Were we still Soviet Union or were you guys?
It was Russian Federation technically, but we still had Soviet Union passports till like 2000.
Okay, got it.
It wasn't
Okay.
possible for everyone to like switch them overnight. So anyways, I registered for the competition, and they also decided to start a modeling agency since they just signed up all these women.
Right.
And they're like, oh, there's this great modeling job we have for you. And I'm like, yes. They're like, it's going to be for a detergent. Yeah. And you're going to be like, you're wearing nothing and covering yourself with a sheet. And then it'll be like a detergent in front of you. And that was like my real shoot. And I did really well. And that was only like for my region, because I guess some monster got paid in detergent and know how to freaking sell it to people without any advertisement. So I was advertising for the detergent, which was horrible, I think. But the bottom line is, the modeling agency, I think I got paid $100 for that shoot, and modeling agency kept it as a registration fee for my beauty contest.
Oh wow! So they didn't pay you. I mean, ultimately, like
Ultimately, I made $0.
We're going to reward you with another job. How's this? This time, you're also going to be naked, covering yourself with just a sheet. This is for SpaghettiOs. It's going to be for SpaghettiOs. Yeah.
Oh boy. Lynn's son says hi.
Hi, Lynn. What's up? Good to see you.
Oh yes.
Lynn's son, another one of the great comics that has been on our show before.
Oh,
Thank
she's
you.
so fun. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with her. She's
Yes, second place in the Uncle Clyde's. What is it? The Uncle
Uncle Clyde's comedy contest at Plattsburgh.
contest. Right. So she was
Oh,
number
yeah.
2.
Woo!
She came up
Oh,
to
yeah.
very.
Yeah,
You guys have.
congrats.
Yeah.
I apologize. I just heard something.
Oh, you're good.
Was
And
that
I don't know if
fireworks?
you guys. I know my neighbor, and I thought it was over. So my apologies. My neighbor, like we're all on Zoom, right? So my neighbor's she had this gig today where she was like DJing all day, and she told us that there would be a couple of times where she would have to like turn up the music super loud, and but I thought it was like she didn't warn me. Like I thought by now, like based on the time she gave. Anyway, so I apologize, you guys. But yes, Lynn won second place in the Uncle Clyde's comedy contest. So very excited. Just a big shout out to one of our listeners. We're happy, obviously we're happy to have you in such a great community of comedians here tonight.
Yes.
Everybody go follow Lynn. She's hilarious, and she also has a talk show, I think, or something.
Yes,
Yep.
like just 2, I think, at
The
this point.
late night mom show, and
And she's got another one. Type in the Lynn, if you're in there, type in the name of the second one so that we.
Oh yeah, and find her on YouTube. She's on YouTube. Late Night Mom Show.
Yes.
Can't miss it. Let's see here. Who comic wise? Who's like a few of the comics that actually have influenced you as well? I'm very curious.
It's so interesting. Like how like people of color would watch movies from the 80s and never see themselves. And they couldn't really identify with like anyone or anything. I mean, it's a bad example maybe, but this is how I feel about comedy a little bit, because comedy was also like white male dominated for so long. And like I guess the only person that had some Russian descent was Yakov Smirnoff.
Oh yeah, I know. Oh yeah.
And he's probably like the only one who kind of like he really became like an all-American sweetheart. A lot of people love him, and he's so funny and he's so kind. And if one day I could open for him, that would be a dream come true.
And now he does videos for PragerU.
He does.
Yeah, he's part of the cult, unfortunately. Yeah.
I could kind of sense something in his in one of his videos. There was a lot of philosophical things.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit, too far fetched. But hey, he's still my hero. Come on, coming from another country and making it as a stand-up comedian headliner in America. I think this is huge.
Oh yeah,
I have to ask.
Nick was just asking real quick, just in case you have one. I don't think we're going to assume you have one, but Irina, what's your favorite vodka?
So, okay, in Russia, like I can bring my vodka cabinet here and show you all vodka. When you walk in a liquor store in Russia, you'll see hundreds and hundreds of vodka brands. Wow. And if you start seeing the ones that are too familiar, it means they're started getting mass produced and they're no longer good. So the only ones that are good are the ones that are made in small batches, local, and they don't really go to other regions. So every time somebody like comes to visit me here, they bring their vodka and it's never the same one. Or maybe there's like a new brand that just got started and that's what everybody's drinking. Like there's so many. Like you can't just say there's one vodka, just like you can't say like what's the best tequila in Mexico. And then you go to Mexico and there's even more tequilas than what we have here, and they're all amazing and they're all, art and stuff.
Okay. I gotta ask a question. I know it's like not about comedy or modeling. I'm sure you see this chessboard in the back behind me.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you play?
Yes.
Yes, I did. So here's the thing. Like I gotta tell you. Like, say that again. I'm sorry, I missed it. What did you say? Yes.
I'm Russian.
Yes. Yeah. And so here's so funny you say that. Like, so when I talk to people about chess, they're always asking me like, well, what's the youngest? I said, well, in America, the youngest I've taught is 4. Typically we're at 5. I said, but here's the thing, you guys, in Russia, they're teaching them out the womb. I said, and I said, I have looked on YouTube and I saw what had to be, I don't know if that baby was 2. That baby was castling and hitting a clock. And I was like, so you can never convince me that anybody is too young to learn to play. I was like, that's only in this. I said, because they're playing in Russia. And I'm like, as far as I know, they didn't get better brains than we got over here. So we could do it if we wanted to. So I was just curious because, like, I'm into the Polgar sisters just a little bit. And, totally much respect to Susan. I've got her book. I've never met them, but and I tell people I teach because there's so much to learn in the game. I'm an okay player, but I'm a great teacher because I think that the game just can teach you everything in the whole world. I really believe that. So I was just curious because I would love to, like, I don't know. I would love to play you. I doubt you probably whoop me in a minute, but I would love to play you. I would love to play you.
I haven't played in a very long time, but I would say we should totally do another broadcast where we just play chess and see what happens.
Yes.
But I may need like a rehearsal match before that but like once you learn chess, you can never forget it.
That's what I tell people. It rewires your brain. And I already know you probably have the most awesome rewired brain. I'm telling you, we sit down, it's going to take nothing for you to get in stride and flip the whole thing on me. And there I am crying tears while you're yelling checkmate.
What's so funny is I think as long as I remember myself, I was playing chess. Because I was brought up by my grandparents primarily. And we didn't even have a rotary phone. I learned how to read by, the titles of the newspapers. The first word I read was probably Pravda, which is like the biggest like Russian communist newspaper called The Truth.
Right.
It's a democracy. We had The Truth.
Oh, well, we have that here too. Just look on Facebook enough, and there's so many people going truth to so many things people post.
No, you say Fox. No.
Right.
Yeah, the only fair and balanced place.
But that's so amazing. I can't wait, Irina. I'm looking forward. I think it's going to be totally fun. And I'm looking forward. I've taught like special needs, and even in that classroom when I've taught like special needs, obviously I can't teach them to play a whole game, but like I had a kid once who could name the squares, and all the teachers were like, we can't get him to say his alphabet, but when you come in here, he can understand like A1. And he'll see. I managed to teach him the names of the squares, but they're like, you don't understand. When you're not here, we struggle with him and the alphabet, and we struggle with him and the numbers. But there's something about what you do. So I just know. I feel like everybody. I just think there's something everybody can do there. And just went.
It's so cool that you teach it because I think it's so important for development to learn strategy, and I think kids don't really do much of it. I mean, maybe some children still play some kind of board games, but it's not very common. Everyone's on their devices. Right. And this game's been around, I don't know, thousands of years. Game of chess, right? And you never get tired of it. You never forget how to play it. It's always entertaining. I mean, I think it's great. Let's do this. Let's do this.
When I was younger, we used to do Tetris. Which was also originally made famous in Russia, right? Tetris. It was a Russian game.
She's no?
Cool.
The guy. I think the guy did come from there, but I don't know.
Well,
if he
maybe
made it. I don't know if he made it there though.
Okay.
He could have made it here, but again, it's like in Russia we didn't have computers growing up. Like I'm one of those people who grew up and went to school in analog everything. Rotary phones, and then I became an adult in the digital world. So
so it was created by a Russian software engineer in '84, but I'm sure 84 he's probably here. So
in '84 we only had The Truth newspaper.
Pravda.
Okay. No Tetris.
No Tetris. No. None. Zero.
Oh yeah.
Darn, not even Burger Time. Damn.
We didn't have burgers either.
So no burger time.
Darn.
Burger time. I mean, we could have had burger time, but we didn't know what burgers were, so we defeat the purpose.
Did you want to put up the segment?
Well, and just saying, I do have one more question though.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You mentioned you didn't have burgers. What? Because since I don't know this, would be a regular meal, like not a regular, but I'm saying a frequent meal you would have in Russia that maybe we don't know about.
Oh, that's a really good question. I love the questions today, you guys. You guys are so fun. So like out of the box thinking, not like every normal podcast I go on. So in Russia, both parents usually worked, mother and father, and kids had to come back from school and make themselves food. And I actually have jokes about it because I was independent since like the age of 6, like I had my key to open the door, to warm up my soup. So the parents would make a big pot of soup or borscht for the whole week.
Oh.
And that's what you eat. Because it's there, you warm it up, and you don't have to think about it. And that's what most families did, and maybe potatoes.
Yeah. It was like a stew kind of soup?
Yeah, meat, chicken based. Usually she and borscht. Borscht is the beet soup.
Oh,
and
okay.
she is the same thing without the beet.
Oh.
Yeah. And then the potato, so not French fries, just potato?
Potato. We didn't really know what French fries were until, late 90s when McDonald's came.
And that's when it all went downhill.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then Russian people had to stand like for hours just to get like a burger and fries, and then they're like, "Ew, that's potatoes," Same potatoes.
Well,